brother? What's happening?
Well, Ryan, I'll tell you what's happening. There's a virus going around the world. It's called COVID, and it's fucking everything up. That's what's happening.
I have heard. I'm familiar. I think I caught something on the news about that once a couple of weeks ago, but just once. It was like a glancing blow. They didn't talk a whole lot about it on the news.
Yeah.
Well, hey man, it's good to see you. I'm glad you're doing well. You look great. Are you at home right now?
Yeah, I'm in Northern California. I just got back I've been in Cabo for a month, so I'm kind of like, tan and kind of beach blonde up,
Dude, Sammy,
I can't go to the beauty parlor. I can't go get my hair colored, like I can't become a real blonde anymore. I can't, I can't get a trim. I mean, geez.
Have you had to do the COVID thing yet where you cut your own hair, or have you given up on that?
Oh, my wife, man, she gets all over me, man. She trims up my bitch. She goes, oh my God, this is getting way too long, and she gets some, yeah.
It's like, Sammy, you look like you slept under a bridge last night. Let's clean that up a little bit.
Yeah, well, I'm not sure I can be cleaned up anymore. At my age, it's like, it's almost a compliment to say, man, you look like you just walked off the beach. Yes.
Cool. Great.
Exactly the look I'm looking for. I would pay to have a makeover to look like me.
Dude, I tell you what, I'm in the Pacific Northwest. You're talking about going to Cabo. I would love to see the sunshine right now. I have not seen the sun. And I mean, you've been to Seattle and Portland.
Ooh,
you know what
yes,
it's like
I have.
up here.
One of my favorite cities to play, by the way.
Oh yeah, Seattle. I was gonna bring up something about Seattle. One of our radio stations, KISW, up here in Seattle, that I'm sure you're familiar with.
Totally, since the 70s, man. They've been there forever.
So they're celebrating their 50th anniversary this year, and I was going through some of the old concerts that they have on archive from this thing they called the Rising Star Concert Series, and one strapping young lad named Sammy Hagar played one of these shows. It was almost 43 years ago to the date, dude. It was January 22nd, 1978, and there was something significant about that show besides the fact that it was just $1. Right? What happened? What happened after that show?
Oh, you're getting tricky now, buddy.
There was something. I don't think it was the show that was significant, but it was something in the paper following the show. I believe it was the show.
So I walk out of my hotel room the next morning, and some guy comes, a guy named Big John, who's still a fan, walks up to me with the newspaper and says, "Hey, can I sign the paper?" And I'm going, "Wow, I'm getting recognized, man. I mean, I just played for $1." And I'm a star, a rising star at work. Anyway, so I signed Sammy Hagar, and he goes, "You sign it to Red Rocker?" I went, "Sure." And the newspaper said the guy called me the Red Rocker in the newspaper, and first time ever. Probably within 2 years after that, I'll be walking down the street in Boston, and somebody'd yell, "The Red Rocker!" it just happened. I didn't name myself the Red Rocker. I just accepted it.
Well, that's a rule. You can't give yourself a nickname. Someone else has to give it to you, right?
Well, there you go. Well, who did that? Do you know who the journalist was?
I don't. You know what? I will find out for you. I assume it was either in the Times or the PI up here. I'll holler. I'll ask around and find out. That would be cool. You can give this guy credit.
I would love to buy that guy a drink. I'll give him some Beach Bar rum. You can get it in Seattle.
And I'm sure he'd appreciate it because he's up here in the gloom and doom with the rest of us, right? So incredibly appropriate that we would be discussing the Lockdown 2020 album while you and I are both at home in lockdown in 2021. It's unfortunate that we're still at home, but I guess it kind of fits that we'd be talking about this from home. As I look back at 2020, one of the bright parts of what was kind of a drag year was these home shows that people were doing and these COVID concerts and the quarantine covers and stuff like that. But you guys were like early adopters of this stuff. I want to say the first video you guys did, what was it, Funky Feng Shui, was in like March. And you guys were doing it on your phones, and you were like in your shower, and Vic was like in his kitchen and stuff, right? I mean, you guys got into this really early last year.
Yeah, it was actually my social media guy, John Lewini's idea. And I said, how are we going to do it? I'm not a technical guy at all. I'm going, I like the idea of doing something. We were gearing up for a tour. We had a tour booked, for June, July, and August. And so we were kind of really chomping And it kind of, I think that's why we got on it so early, because we were just about to go into rehearsal and everything. Wait, what? The tour is going to get canceled? Well, well, I don't know, so blah, blah, blah. So he came up with this idea. He's, I said, well, maybe we'll make a new record. If we got nothing to do, let's make a new record. And then I thought, well, can't make a record all in the same room, because we can't all get in the same room with the engineers, blah, blah, blah. So John Lewini goes, no, here's what you can do. You can like take your iPhone. I'm going, yeah. And he sends me all this equipment, a microphone and a little mixing board and all these little pedals. And he goes, you just plug all this stuff into here and do all this stuff. And I'm going, no, I'll just sing right in my microphone. He goes, well, it might not be good enough quality. So, well, let's find out. It was really that experimental. So I just self-feed myself to a drum track, a bass track, and a guitar track of Funky Funk Sway, because it's a song that we had been writing backstage from the last gig we did in February of 2020. And warming up backstage, we came up with that riff. So anyway, I said, let's just do that song. So Jason put the drums down, and the guys, everyone would take the bass track, the drums, and the guitar, and I would put them on my wife's iPhone, put the iPods in, and I hold my iPhone, and I push record selfie mode, and I sang the damn song. Yeah. And I sent it to them, and when they sent it back, they went in the studio and fixed it up. But it was like, wow, this works. I'll never make a record again any other way. Because
it's certainly cheaper than going into the studio, isn't it?
It costs us $300 a song to make a video and a recording. So we ended up with a record. So it cost $3,300.
That's crazy. That's amazing.
To make a record and a video. It's a DVD.
Yeah. And I'm looking at these YouTube videos, and you guys have, millions of views all told on all of these things.
Over 30 million views. It was big. It was big on social media. For me, anyways, it was.
Sure. Is there a reason you picked these songs? Are they songs that were in your guys' repertoire already, or, was there some meaning behind the ones that you chose? I know, besides Heroes, which we'll talk about in a second.
Well, Three Little Birds. Well, we started conceptually. It's a really good question, Ryan, because a lot of people say, well, how'd you keep going? Well, we didn't think we were going to keep going. We just did one song and say, oh, let's do another. That was fun. Let's do another one. So we were kind of just having fun the first three songs, playing our favorite songs, like Won't Get Fooled Again. And that was, we all would jam that, in Cabo, for my birthday bash, just songs that we had played before. That was kind of on the list. Then it started getting serious. Everyone said, COVID is like, oh my God, it's never going to end. So we, then it was like, I thought, for Three Little Birds, a Bob Marley tune, so off the wall. I'm going, we can do whatever we want. No, there's no rules here, because everyone's just getting it for free and we're just having fun. So like, we can do whatever we want. I thought the world needs to hear something like everything's going to be all right. I'm a positive person. Me, I'm a fatalist optimist. Fatal ops, whatever you want, however you want to phrase that. You're a journalist. You tell me what I'm supposed to call myself. But I'm an optimist.
That's pretty conflicted.
To a fault. Fault. And so I just, everything's going to be all right, and everybody thought that's really cool. I told Jason, think of your dad's part, for what's that?
Maker?
Yeah, Dryer Maker. I said, just play Dryer Maker drums and we'll do a reggae tune. So we did it. Oh man, that was a big hit. That really was cool. It got like a couple 100,000 views on my Instagram. I'm going, wow, that's really cool. So then we got, we can do this, we can do that. But then it got serious. Every now and then it gets serious again. It would be like, right now, let's do Right Now, the Van Halen song. So we rearranged it, recreated it, because we didn't want to put any overdubs like piano, something. So Vic played it on 12-string guitar. So man, we started getting into it, is all I'm saying. Yeah. And next thing I know, we had a record. And then comes Heroes. It was really time. It was time to start talking about, these people need to be rewarded with something, these first responders, and,
And so Heroes comes out, you dedicated it to frontline workers, and the video is super cool, and it shares some of the stories of these folks out there working on the front lines, doctors, nurses, EMTs, and so on, right?
That's cool, man. Store workers. Back when this thing first happened, if you were a grocery store clerk, and these people are coming in, person after person, it's like it was dangerous. I mean, it seemed dangerous to me. It's like they're putting their life on the line so people can eat, because the grocery stores closed. Man, it was like the wild, wild west there for a while. Like, how are you going to do this? How is this going to happen? So there was a lot of people that get more credit and that didn't get enough credit that I start feeling, there's some real heroes out there, man. Just people helping other people. So anyway, it was touching and a great video, I think. I think the Instagram post, the little video for it was one of the most clever things. My social media guy, John Luini, is the best thing he's come up with. I mean, it was like, man, this is great. A newspaper. Now we can say whatever we want. Otherwise it's pretension. Some guy standing up on his soapbox saying, hey, this, hey, nah. But no, put it in the newspaper. It was brilliant.
Sure.
We could get a lot said.
And you guys are donating proceeds from that song to charity, right?
Yeah, to food banks. I'm a big fan of food banks. I've been supporting food banks for 11 years. Every show I've done since Chickenfoot, that's about 11 years ago, I do believe. Every show I've done anywhere, I donate money to a food bank in that city. And I'm a big believer that food banks are the root. It's like the root. What can you do? You can give people money, you can pay their rent, you can do all these things. But if hungry people, everyone, there should be able to eat. And the food banks are big bang for the buck. $1, you can feed a whole family for $1 in a food bank. I'm serious. It's badass. So
yeah.
Big believer.
Awesome. So we've covered that 2020 was a drag of a year. Tell me something good that happened last year in 2020, Sammy. Something.
The Roaring 20s. We're talking about the Roaring 2020s.
Yes. I met a dame in the 20s.
Well,
drinking bathtub gin.
There's a lot of good things that happen from it. Most of it's personal to me, but I also think that we were getting, as a race on this planet, all of us, we were getting a little out there and taking a lot for granted. And hopefully this kind of set people back, brought them back down to earth a little bit. I mean, it's a hell of a way to do it, but that's my hope, that when we come out of this, people are going to be a little more thankful, and maybe more considerate of others. I'm not sure about that. The big divide, I don't want to get into politics, but the big divide is so damn bad. If there's anything I would wish for out of this whole thing, is that everybody would come back together in this country alone, just in America, just come back together. Come on, man. Support each other and support both sides. It's not about left, right, and back. Yeah, come down to the middle. I wrote the album called Space Between because I saw it coming, and then it's got even worse. So my album didn't help anything. It didn't cure anything. But anyway, I think maybe everyone will be a little more grateful, and grateful is a good thing.
Sure.
That's all I could hope for as a race. For me personally, I got to know myself. I got to know my family a little bit better. My kids, got to spend more time with them. Not being able to tour for that, staying and sleeping in my own bed and waking up in the morning with nothing to do. I've worked so hard my whole life. It's the only thing I know how to do. When I wake up, first thing I say is, to my people that work for me and stuff, and I say, give me my agenda today. What do I have to do? Give me my schedule. And all of a sudden, you don't have anything to do today. What? It's like,
well, okay. I imagine that working on this album and these songs probably helped you through a lot of that too. You would have been bored to death, I imagine. I mean, because you strike me as kind of a type A dude that needs a lot of stuff going on.
Yeah, you got that right. And so it helped me a little bit realizing, what if I didn't have anything to do? How am I going to deal with myself, and how can I deal with my, not being so driven all the time? And so it really helped me. I've calmed down. My wife even says it, she, like, every now and then, she said, what do you want to do today? I say, no, nothing. Let's just go for a nice walk on the beach, and she goes, oh, wow, great. I love it. You're not going to drive me crazy today, no? But the lockdown sessions is what they did, is they kept the band together. They kept us in touch musically. They kept us thinking creatively, kept us talking and discussing music and arrangements, because when we'd say, okay, let's do the song For What It's Worth, the Buffalo Springfield song. Well, how are we going to do it? I'd call Jason. I said, what are you gonna do? So what if I put together a rhythm track, like a little, on my electric drum kit, put together like a loop. I said, oh yeah, cool. Let me hear it. He'd send me a loop, and I'd go, oh man, badass. Okay, well, maybe I'll just play acoustic guitar then. No, how are you gonna do acoustic guitar? It kept us talking about music and coming up with,
Sure.
Next thing I know, Jason's calling up saying, Sammy, I want to hear you sing Heroes. It's my favorite Bowie song. He says, my favorite Bowie song too, but I don't think I can sing low like that. He's going, well, just sing it high. So we're always talking music. Boom, boom, boom. Oh, Mikey, what part are you gonna, Vic, you want to sing the backgrounds of Mike, or should I sing that part? So it really kept us communicating. It kept the band together. We feel like we're still a band. We're not sitting there going, gee, do I still have a band? Hell yeah, I still got a band. We got a new record. I got a band with a new record.
It occurred to me when I was listening to Heroes earlier that I think that's the lowest I've ever heard Sammy Hagar sing.
It is. And I was scared to death. I got to tell you.
It sounds great.
Well, but it didn't feel good. How about that? Like, so, you say, there's a old joke, which I won't tell you because it's filthy, about what looks good, feels bad. No, feels bad.
Do I look like I offend easily?
Feels good. Well, that didn't feel good doing it. When I was doing it, I'm going, this is awful. I'm going, I would be king. I felt like I was Elvis Presley or something, trying to, love me tender. I didn't want to say that. Right. But when I heard it back, I know
wise men say.
Exactly. I kind of felt like that, and that's just not my style. But when I heard it back, I was pleasantly surprised. So there's something I learned that I can sing like that if I had to.
Great.
Now we're going to put that song in the set. That's Heroes will be in the Circle's new set when we go out and play live. That song is a keeper. It's one of my favorite things we've ever done. I mean, I love it.
I want to ask you about playing live. You're a guy that's in the know on this sort of thing. What are people saying about concerts? I'm sure your agent's been on the phone saying, when are we going to get back on the road, Sammy?
Wait, my agent? No, he's at work. No, my agent doesn't have a job. I don't have it. They're shut. No, I'm joking.
There are a lot of agents at the food bank these days, apparently.
Yeah. Well, the agency is trying to find ways to do it. Everyone's trying to, the drive-in movie theater thing, that didn't appeal to me. I couldn't do it. My fans are crazy. So we did the Catalina Island thing, where we said, well, let's do a boat in and see how that works. And that was cool, but it was so expensive. I mean, you want to talk about pay to play, it's like, man, we had to build a stage. We had to bring production, everything over to Catalina. We had to stay there a week, with building everything out. And we did a pay-per-view, and it was successful, but it was not financially successful. But that wasn't the idea. But the idea was to finish up my birthday bash and get it done. But getting creative with it. I don't like creative with trying to do a concert. I'm sorry. I don't want to do them for my home. With the little, things we did was fun. The lockdown sessions, we did some great creative things. It was great, but it was fun for me. But I have my fun by walking out on stage for 2 hours and playing the music and entertaining and talking to the folks and getting the feedback. There's nothing that will ever replace that. And I need it, and I want it, and my fans need it, and they want it, and we got to have it. So we got to get back to it. I don't want to play to a half a house because I've been offered, say, okay, you can play in some states, but if it holds 10,000, you can only play for 5. I don't care about playing for 5. I play for 500. I don't mind that at all. I just know that those 5,000 people are not going to stay in their seats and socially distance. The second we start getting it on and I start saying, can I get a witness? Are we having any fun yet? And holding the mic up and, right now, they're going to be at the front of the stage, all unsociably distanced. And everybody's going to, it's going to get criticized and I'm going to get, sued or fined or something. So it's a bummer. I want to get it back up.
Yeah. Let me ask you this, Sammy.
Did that answer your question pretty good though, Ryan?
Yeah. I think it did. As soon as you can. I think is the answer to that question.
I got wound up.
Couple more things. Balance anniversary was over the weekend. Congratulations. What was that? 25 years ago? Did you do anything?
26 years ago. Wow.
To mark that.
I couldn't believe it. That was the last Van Halen record?
Was it 95?
I don't know. I guess so. Yeah. 95. 26 years.
95. Crazy.
Wow.
Yeah.
Can you believe that?
Mark the occasion? Shot at tequila.
Well, I didn't even know, so someone sent me a picture of the CD. I mean, the vinyl picture with the album cover on the vinyl, and it had all four of our signatures on there. It had Eddie, Alex, Michael, and myself. And in the corner, there was another signature, and I didn't know what it was. And I blew it up, and it's Gary Sharon. Whoever sent me that picture got Gary. He signed it. So I called Gary.
Gary to sign
Gary,
it.
can you believe it? He goes, "Oh man, it's an honor to be on that record. Have my signature. Maybe it ain't my voice, but I got my signature on that record." I was cracking up. So yeah, I just put it up on my Instagram because I didn't know until yesterday. And the crazy thing is tomorrow's Eddie's birthday. Tuesday. Yeah. Whoa. I mean, birthday.
It's gonna be heavy.
Not death, his birthday. So I got to do something special for that. So that's what I'm working on today. A good post for Eddie's birthday.
Right on.
Can you believe 26 years ago? I will probably not live 26 more years. I might, though, because I'm going to live to be 100. I could tell you a lot of reasons why.
Right.
But one of them is I'm really, really jealous. My wife. I'm in love with my wife. Deadly, just completely in love with her. And I'm a really jealous guy. So if I don't live to be 100, she'll be 80 when I'm 100. And maybe at 80, some other guy won't try to pick up on her. You know what I mean? Because I just couldn't see my wife with another man. So I have to live to be 100 just to get her
meet
old
some
enough.
Dude in the nursing home.
Yes, and them old guys. You know how them old guys are.
Nursing home boyfriend. Yeah.
Us old
I've heard
guys,
those stories.
Them old guys. Us old guys. You know how us old guys
are. Who do you think's going to win the Super Bowl? You following that? It's next weekend. A week from next weekend.
You know what? I'm going to throw the Bills a bone. I hope the Bills. That's the last thing I heard. Because,
all right.
I mean, the Buffalo Bills have been up, 5 times and never got the ring? Are they still in the running?
Yeah, I think you're right. No, I think they lost this weekend.
Come on, Jim Kelly. Jim Kelly.
City, but I know. Kelly. I was going to say, I think it was like the early 90s, right? When the last time they went with the Giants, but it's been a minute. It's been a long time.
So yeah, I'd like to see him win. Everybody deserves
all right. Well,
that golden ring once.
Fact. Well, hey man, it was great to catch up with you. I'm glad we finally got to meet, and hopefully next time we sit down and chat, it will be in person with a glass of tequila. That would be nice.
Ryan, I'll see you when you see me. How about that? Bye for now.
All right, brother. You got it. Thanks, Sammy. Take care, man.
Thank you.